Good morning, class. This is Mr. Eggleston. This is lesson 3.2, representing and solving linear problems. The learning targets are write linear equations that can be solved to find missing information about a situation. Basically, we are going to learn to write equations that model a situation, all right? Kind of like these are word problems in the old context of our old math language that we used to use. Okay, then we're going to distinguish between a variable term or terms and constant terms. Basically, variable terms are terms that have a variable like x. Constant terms are terms that do not have a variable like, just a number. And then understand each part of a linear equation in context and use this context to isolate the desired variable. So here we go. So it says Farouk is saving up to buy a pair of Beats Studio 3 headphones that cost $180. Oh, that's big. $180. Okay. He currently has $65 saved up from his birthday money. He's planning on tutoring students at school for $10 an hour. Doesn't matter what he's doing, but what matters is that he's earning $10 an hour. How much money does he still need to be able to buy the headphones? Well, that's just going to be $180 minus the $65 he already has saved up, which equals $115. All right, so he needs $115. How many hours would he have to tutor to make the amount of money he needs? And how do you know? Well, you take the amount he needs, 115, divide by the money he earns per hour, which is $10 per hour, which equals 11.5. So he needs to work 11 and a half hours. Okay. And it's each hour he earns $10. Okay. So 10 times 11.5 equals $115. Okay. Says write an expression that represents the total amount of money Farouk will have saved up if he works X hours. Well, we know that he started with $65 already saved from his birthday money, and he's going to add to it the money from babysitting, which is $10X, right? For X number of hours. Okay, that's an expression, and this right here is money Farouk saved. Has saved after working X hours. Okay. Then it says write an equation. Notice the difference in the words. Expression. An expression is just just involves numbers and variables. Okay, but there's no equal sign. It's not an equation. To make an equation, you set this expression of 65 plus 10x equal to the amount of money he needs to have saved. All right, and that would be equal to 180. Okay, because he needs $180 to buy his headphones. Of course, it does not include taxes and governmental fees and all that stuff. So if we included that, it'd be a little bit more complicated to calculate the amount he needs. Okay. After buying the headphones, Farouk decides he will turn his tutoring into a real business. The cost of getting business cards, I guess that's his only startup cost, and some supplies is $189. After paying for these costs, he will put the rest of the money he earns in his bank account. How much money will Farouk put into his bank account if he tutors 25 hours, excuse me. Well, that would be 10 times 25. That's the money he gets from tutoring, minus the initial $189 he had to pay, which equals, he would put into his savings account $61, or bank account, all right? 10 times 25 is 250. 250 minus 189 is $61. Then it says write an expression that represents the money Farouk puts in his bank account if he works X hours. Well, that would be 10 times X minus 189, all right? And that's the money he would put into his bank account. If Farouk's goal is to put $200 into his bank account for savings, how much will Farouk need to earn in order to have $200 saved? Well, if you think about it, if he wants to save 200, so he wants 200 in his bank account, then it would be that right there would be the equation, and you basically add 189 to 200, you get 389. He would have to save $389 because you have to include the $189 fee he has for paying for his business cards. How many hours does he need to tutor to reach this goal? Well, it would be the $389 he needs divided by 10, because that's the money he gets per hour. And that equals 38.9 hours. Or you could just say 40 hours. Okay. So there you go. Now, let's fill in let's do some backtracking and let's fill in some notes here. Alrighty, so initially, right down here, this is the amount of money he has saved, already saved. This is amount earned from tutoring. And this 180 is the cost of the headphones. Okay. Moving on, we could rewrite this as 10x equals 180 minus 65. I subtracted 6. Oh, am I at the edge? No. I subtracted 65. Oh, man. All right, I got to pause. I have to restart.